Brothers and sisters, I'm Jesse with Living Tree Community Foods, and we're here today in one of the wonders of the world, in my humble opinion. This is an edible schoolyard at Martin Luther King High School here in Berkeley, and as you see, it's filled with vegetables, with parsley, with kale, with cabbage and collard greens, and it's also filled with ornamental shrubs and with fruiting trees. It is one of the wonders of the world, in my humble opinion, and it shows you what we can be here in these United States. And today we're going to show you how easy it is to grow your own microgreens. All too many of us live in apartments or in condos, and we just don't have the backyard space to grow our own fruits and vegetables. This is becoming more and more of a privilege nowadays, and yet, through the wonders of horticulture, all of us can at least grow sprouts and microgreens in the privacy of our kitchens. So just to show you what I mean, here's a tray of arugula. And it was very, very easy to grow. I began with sifted compost from my compost pile, and to this I added some cow manure, which is one of the most wondrous substances in the world. There's no such thing as a vegan vegetarian garden. Rudolf Steiner, a profound seer and the founder of biodynamics, was very, very much into cow manure and said and emphasized that an animal essence is indispensable for an organic garden, or for any sort of horticulture for that matter. So, sifted compost from my garden and cow manure. I mixed it all up, I put it all together, and then on the top, as we're going to see, I planted on the top arugula seeds, and this is the result a couple weeks later. Magnificent, magnificent greens. And it's more important than ever before to grow your own greens. Whenever I go back east, it makes me very, very sad to see how most of the fruits and vegetables, the organic ones to be sure, are grown here in California and have to journey 3,000 miles or more to reach the stores back east. And this is so sad. It seems to me that the task of our generation is to revive the topsoil here in this country. It has been so pesticided, so burdened with chemicals, with sprays, with insecticides and so forth. We've got to revive and revivify the topsoil in this country. It is our task, one of the tasks of this generation. And let's begin by growing at least a part of the food that we consume every day. Remember, organic is under continual attack from large commercial entities that have moved into organics. They're under continual attack, and one tragic manifestation of this is that hydroponics, vegetables that are grown in shipping containers, in warehouses, in enclosures under artificial light, and grown in chemical soup, these are now labeled certified organic, and this is only the beginning of the results of the continual thwarting, the continual whittling away at organic standards. The best way, the most vivacious and alive and vibrant greens are those, brothers and sisters, that you grow yourself. Even if it's a window box, even if it's just a tray of greens in your kitchen, or better yet, if you join a community garden. Of course, the highest is to have the blessing of your own backyard or your own front yard, but all too often these days, far too few of us have that possibility or opportunity. But in my humble experience here in California, in almost any town or community, there is at least one community garden. Here in Berkeley, of course, we have many. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's show you, just go about how to do it. Here I have a tray of sifted compost from my compost pile and cow manure. I've mixed the two together, and now I'm going to we're going to be planting some seeds. I have arugula seed right here. It's a powerful germinator, even in cool weather. It's a member of the mustard family. So, arugula is also known as rocket. Wonderful place to purchase seeds are Johnny's Selected Seeds, Pine Tree Garden Seeds, or the Seed Savers Exchange. They're all wonderful people dedicated to bringing back and returning life and aliveness to this American earth. So very good. We're going to plant some seeds. Just I distribute them evenly over the seed bed. Maybe a handful more. And that's it. We've planted the seed bed. And now we're going to go to what my colleague John Kozak of blessed memory would say was the most important event in a seed's life, and that's when we water the seed bed. So we have broadcast our arugula seeds over the seed bed, and when I get home, I'm going to water the flat, and then I'm going to put it in a plastic bag. This is the sort of bag that you get from the dry cleaner, and this will create a special moist atmosphere that will greatly facilitate and help germination. I'll take the plastic off once a day, water it, and put the plastic on, and keep it in a cool, dry place. And in 3 days or so, we should have germination. As soon as the arugula seeds germinate, I'll expose the flat to direct sunlight and water every morning and every evening. So let's go ahead. This is a tip, by the way. Use a dry cleaning bag to enclose the flat. And that's it. We're all set to go with another tray of magnificent, vibrant, living microgreens. And this is more important than ever before, because when I opened up the pages of today's Wall Street Journal, there in the editorials, it talked about a new subsidy to the people in Iowa who are growing corn for ethanol being a gasoline additive. And what they're doing is raising the limit. Instead of adding 10% of ethanol to gasoline, they're now increasing the limit to 15%. Think of all the hundreds of thousands of gallons of ethanol. This is going to that's going to go into the into our fuel supply, and also ethanol happens to be a pollutant. It creates smog and atmospheric distress of all sort. And yet, and the Wall Street Journal laments this, they're going ahead with yet another subsidy to the ethanol farmers. At Living Tree Community, we believe that the precious topsoil of this American earth should be devoted to growing food for people, especially in these United States when there are so many people who are undernourished or malnourished. But instead, it seems that the powers that be have other ideas, and they think it's more important to grow corn to feed cars, automobiles. Be it as it may, let us go forward. Let us heal this North American earth. It behooves every one of us to become a 3R person in these times. That is to restructure, regenerate, and redeem the topsoil, the living, vibrant topsoil upon which all life depends. It's been a privilege and a pleasure speaking with you. Let us go forward with aliveness.